Hi, this is a rambling demo of my first attempt at integrating BTRFS into Cockpit. So here we are on a storage overview page, and there's a new entry, create BTRFS volume. I don't know how to pronounce it, I say BTRFS. And there are a couple of partitions here on the same disk. That doesn't make sense, but we will use those as multiple disks for a single BTRFS volume. But we start with one. So it appears here like a volume group, for example, and it looks like this. The devices are listed here, and here we would have the subvolumes, but with BTRFS at least one of them needs to be mounted to do anything with the file system. Somehow we get the usage numbers out of it, but we can't do anything else, really. So, for example, you cannot even add a subvolume if it's not mounted somewhere. Yeah, and because of that, I already have different ideas of how to approach this. And so this might be a UI-wise a dead end, but it's kind of a status report now for what I have. So then was the idea, okay, we just mount it temporarily somewhere, and then we get the list of subvolumes. This is a new BTRFS volume, so it only has the root volume. You can see the file system here, but this information I think is pretty useless. And so let's see if we keep it or have something cleaner here. Anyway, we can mount it like any other file system. Let's mount it on Mount Butter. And now it gets interesting. Now you can of course unmount it like any other file system, but now you can create a volume because it is mounted here. And that might not be easy to discover, that this menu entry will appear when it is mounted. So be part of try, I guess, to make that better. But now we can just create one and mount it. It appears here. This one you can delete. The root can not be deleted, obviously, but this one you can delete if the root is mounted. So for example, let's make it complicated. We only had it mounted to create this subvolume, and this is the one that we want to use. Let's say this is for your home directory, and I think that's a typical use of BTRFS, that you make subvolumes that you mount somewhere, but the actual root subvolume of the BTRFS thing is not mounted normally. So let's say it's not mounted. That means you cannot create new subvolumes, and you can also not delete subvolumes at this, because the parent would need to be mounted for that. You can create a subvolume of this volume. So you can, for example, do this. And this is now one level deeper than the full subvolume. Sorry. So it is all inherently hierarchical. We can even, I try this now, I'm not sure if it will work. We can make a subvolume of bar, and we call this 1, 2, 3. Let's see if that works. And let's mount it on 4. No, okay, I haven't written the code for this, but if we would now create these directories, regular directories, we could make a subvolume that is 3 levels deeper than its parent inside some directories. And so we can create quite some interesting hierarchies there, and I guess people will do it. I think that's what we have to allow here, to have a proper hierarchy explorer. But that's for later. So we can add block devices just like this. They appear here. We can remove the other one now. this point BTRFS will move all data from this block device to all the remaining ones, so that operation might take, and we might have a dialog for this or some job indication or some spinner to show that it might take a long time. Of course, now it was fast because there was nothing on it really. Back to the overview. Now here we have listed all the subvolumes, but we don't get proper usage information for individual subvolumes, only for the whole volume. So it's just a copy of this usage bar on every row, but it is possible to get better information out of BTRFS, but you need to enable the quota support for it, and we could put a box here that explains it and lets people enable quota, and then we can have really nice detailed usage information for subvolumes, and you can see where all your data is. Yo. What else can we do? We can delete the whole thing. Let's do it. It has the usual teardown going on here, so it will tell you what will be unmounted. It still has this temporary mount here, so that might be a surprise. And so I really hope we can find a UI approach where we don't need this. So, but anyway, it will be unmounted. What's going on? Yeah, let's just say that's a bug. Second time it worked. Yeah, I've never tried this with two devices, I think. Oh yeah, one more thing I should show. Let's quickly make another one. If you click here, you see this is the partition that we have used, and it says it's a BTRFS member, and here's a link directly to the volume. And I think, yeah, let's try this. There's still something missing here. If we format it now, it should tell you it's not a good idea because it's part of BTRFS, but that is not checked for yet. Okay, so as you can see, this is intermediate report. It's a new one, so we still need to mount it. Yeah. So I hope that I can get a better idea for how to present the subvolumes. That is not so confusing with which ones need to be mounted to do what operation. And see you then.